Today in the nerdy news you need to know about, IGN, GameSpot, and more have revealed their Game of the Year. Sonic 4 is coming to theaters in 2027, and Nintendo may be fixing the Switch's biggest flaw. We'll have all this and more, because this is your final Kinda Funny Games Daily for 2024. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Friday, December 20th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues, a.k.a. the engaged one, at Tim Geddes. He's married one.
Yeah, got a new engaged one.
Roger, shit, fuck. Yeah. You want to know what happened there? I'll let you in inside baseball. Put it on autopilot because I wanted to pivot the conversation as soon as we were done. I was thinking about this in the car.
Love that.
Chat, chat, I need you on this one. Not even super chats. The free, the poor folk. You can tell me. 2025. 2 weeks from today, Kinda Funny's 10th anniversary. We're doing a big stream. We'll talk about it in housekeeping. 2025 on the horizon, though. Is it time that I drop the prolonged intros for people? Am I just wasting time? Because this is one of those DNA threads all the way back, Tim, to IGN, where I had a name for everybody, right? Pride of Long Island, Guides
Italian
Guru,
meatball.
My Italian Meatball, right? Like I had a shtick there. But now we do 3 shows and everybody's saying, no, don't drop them. So, okay, cool, just making sure. Thank you. I say make them longer, says Cameron Kennedy. Cool. I just want to make sure I'm serving you, the audience. I don't, because, you know, it is, the show starts at 15:07.
It does, though.
I'm kidding. I know, who cares? What do you do? You don't want this? This is what the whole thing
This is what it's all about, everybody. Me and Greg sitting here. Me with the stiff neck. I'm going to be Batmaning it today, Greg.
Okay.
Got into a weird... I was parallel parking yesterday and it didn't go well. That's what happened. That's what happened. If you really want to know what happened...
There's a whole Curb Your Enthusiasm a bit about this entire thing.
Yeah. It was the smallest spot I've ever tried to get into, ever. And I was like, I'm going to.
All the Curb fans, I hope you're there with me.
And I just want everyone to know, I made it. I was good. Totally good. I nailed it, actually. But what I didn't expect is, as I was very gingerly and delicately trying to get in between these 2 cars, did not expect a car to come rocketing around the corner because I was like close to the corner, and it was coming straight at me. And I jerk. And it pulled it. Oh, it pulled
Welcome
it
to life
so
after
bad,
30.
Dude.
Welcome to life after
man.
30.
I'm very worse for wear at this point, Greg.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard yesterday me talking about this. I have a really bad sinus problem going
I didn't hear
on.
that.
Horrible.
What's wrong?
Horrible.
Just pressure?
I have one of those
You
like
get a mint stuck
inside
up
pimples. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
Yeah,
I've never had a pimple in my sinuses.
Where it's just, yeah, exactly. And it's like, it hurts so bad. And it's like fucking with my tear ducts. It's fucking with everything, man. I'm in a bad spot right now, but I'm happy because I'm here with you.
You just got to limp through this one. You just got to limp through this one. And then you guess what?
Yeah. This is the final Games Daily of our 9 years. After this, it'll be our 10th year.
You notice I took a deep breath there because I was like, oh shit, as I went in, it's our final Kinda Funny Games Daily. I was like, don't cut Kevin of 2024. Like, you know, I was really afraid there for a second. I was going to put the fear of God into somebody. Yeah, final year 9's final one.
Crazy.
Can you believe it? Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me.
Yeah,
Not me.
not
But we're
me.
here. I'm excited to talk more about it.
Okay, cool. We have lots to talk about.
We do.
We want to talk about it right here because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, and podcast services around the globe. If you like that, we'd love you to pick up a Kinda Funny membership. Of course, with the Kinda Funny membership, you give us $10. You get all of our shows. That's more than 20 a week, ad-free. You get the ability to watch our afternoon podcast live as we record them. And of course, you get your daily dose of me in a series we call Gregway, where I talk in my car, usually for a long, long time, about a variety of topics. However, if you have no bucks to toss our way, it's no big deal. YouTube.com/kindafunnygames, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. Of course, podcast services for a free version filled with ads. But if you want that membership, pick it up, youtube.com/kindafunnygames or patreon.com/kindafunny. Some housekeeping for you. It's official. It's big. You knew it, but now we have a graphic. January 3rd is our anniversary stream. Kevin, go to Twitter and toss it up if you don't mind. On January 3rd, we're celebrating 10 years of Kinda Funny with a massive 12-hour celebration stream. You know, I try to teach Roger everything I can.
Yeah.
12 hours should have a hyphen.
I know.
Drives me fucking crazy.
I don't want. It's not his fault. In fact, it's my fault for not saying anything. I did see that, and I was like, you know what? Greg will definitely fix this.
Should be on the graphic too. 12-hours, because it's an adjective that's described.
But people read it, they know. You know what I mean?
Well, this is the problem. I mean, we're just saying literally can mean anything now. It doesn't matter. 12-hour celebration stream, January 3rd. 10 years of Kinda Funny. Tons of giveaways and surprises. Live starting at 10 a.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames and youtube.com/kindafunnygames. In the live chat, CLSU Mud Dogs H2O says, I'll be on the road, so I'll miss it. I'll have to watch later. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay. You're driving for 12 hours. Are you fucking going to the moon? All right. No. You're going to pull the fuck over at 10 a.m. and see this thing launch.
Actually, Greg, I think that they might want to pull over a little earlier.
Tell me about it, Tim.
I have an exclusive reveal, everybody. We're going to do a pre-show leading into it, starting at 7:30 a.m. Pacific, a 2.5-hour timeline going through Kinda Funny since 2014, technically, because we were Game Over Greggy show even before that,
you know what I mean.
right?
Yeah.
With from back in like 2012.
Technically, I started Game Over Greggy in 2012.
In 2012,
I gave you a job. I gave Kevin a
100%.
job. I'm the reason everyone's here. Right now, you watching this, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me, but I always get fucking shit on. It's fine.
We rebranded to Kinda Funny in very late 2014 before leaving IGN.
And that's when IGN said, this makes us mad. And we said, all right, we'll quit.
Yeah, exactly. So we're celebrating what we used to call our Independence Day.
Yeah.
Kinda Funny day. And I'm very excited. But yeah, it goes through the 10 years. And it's like kind of a lot of the biggest moments that we've had and a lot of the announcement videos. Pretty much every KF Day announcement video or like anytime there's like the reveal of a new hire or a new show, that's all documented. Donktober, baby. It's all documented right there. It's like me and Roger have been working very hard.
It's very impressive what you guys have put together already.
It's very, very, very exciting. So I like 7:30 Pacific. Obviously, that means 10:30 Eastern. What's going on, Kev?
I'm sorry. I'm reading the chat now. I should have muted myself. There's people saying, remember when they revealed Kevin like an Apple product?
That's in there.
Fran
Kinda Funny one.
went to hide and no one looked for him. And it's just like, God.
Yeah.
Apologies, chat. You're too good today.
Ton of amazing moments. So yeah, it's very emotional, I'll say. Prepare yourselves.
2.5 hours?
2.5 hours,
God
literally
damn.
just going through it. Like it's a timeline, right? So it goes all the way right up to it. And then the show itself starts at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away any of the surprises and fun things we have planned there. But of course, announcements, more than that, an entire day full of amazing shows, amazing production. The lineup and run of show we have is, I think, our best yet. I think people are going to be very, very thrilled with all the things we're showing. We've already announced this is going to be the premiere of the basketball game. The Kinda Funny basketball game will premiere on Kinda Funny Day. You'll be able to watch it during the stream. And I'm going to go there. It's the best piece of content we've ever made.
Wow.
I'm hyping it up that
I've
much.
seen Joey screening it and just hysterically laughing, so that's a good sign.
It is the most laugh out loud thing we've ever done. Y'all are not ready. So prepare yourselves for January 3rd. Ton of giveaways. Maybe the biggest giveaways we've ever done.
100%.
So yeah, you're going to want to strap in all day. Lock in.
We got MetaQuest.
MetaQuest, yeah, we can say that.
Yeah.
Some other fun things.
You want to say anything
We're
else?
giving away a Switch too. Yeah, we're doing it.
Just
real.
the pre-order. We don't know.
Yeah.
It's still true.
But
We're still
it's
true.
going to be great. A lot of fun announcements and everybody. So just get hyped for it and also prepare Friday, January 3rd. 7:30 to 10 being the pre-show, 10 to 10 being the 12-hour marathon stream we're doing.
We can't wait, everybody. We're excited to share Kinda Funny's 10th anniversary with you. January 3rd, 2 weeks from today. Hashtag KF10, which they didn't even use in the tweet. You know?
And with
no
that,
hyphen, no hashtag.
With that, too, Roger's really trying his best. I know we're fucking around. I love him so much right now.
Roger's killing it.
Yeah,
Let's be Roger, I'm squeezing Tim's hand, but I'm really squeezing your head because you're doing a great job out there. We love you. We're all just fucking around.
Many more tweets to come and blue skies.
Many more tweets to come.
Just like, you know.
Please stay tuned for more tweets.
And I forgot what I was going to say there, but good stuff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Stay tuned for all of it.
Can the kids watch, says Zabe. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't either.
I mean, you know how we are. We often
we
work
are
blue.
us.
Like, if you're a kid watching right now, repeat after me. Fuck you, Dad. That's it. I shouldn't let your kid listen to this show. You know what I mean? I tried my best. I tried it. We're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. Today, after Kinda Funny Games Daily, you're going to get a GamesCast where we do the GTA clone draft. We're drafting GTA clones.
I love that,
Me,
man.
Mike, and Bless. I can't wait. I'm very excited for it. I was doing the washing Benny's lunchbox this morning, getting everything all set up, and I was starting to run through my games and my picks.
True Crime Streets of LA.
Don't start giving
True
away.
Crime
Don't start
Streets of New York.
Don't start giving it away. Don't start giving away things. The stream after that's going to be the Kinda Funny Christmas Party 2025, aka Mike does a backflip. That's right. We are recording our Christmas party. We're doing a white elephant gift exchange. Mike said at the beginning of the year, he said he'd be able to do a backflip by today, by the end of the year. So this is his last chance to do it, and this will be the Kinda Funny podcast as well. So this will be posting onto your podcast feeds later as well. If you're a Kinda Funny member, you'll be able to get today's Gregway, in which I say, why don't we just stop time and play Metaphor Refantazio? Thank you to our Patreon producers, Delaney Twining and Carl Jacobs. Today, we're brought to you by Heart Electric, Still Wakes the Deep, Aura Frames, and Marvel Snap. But we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show for the last time in 2024 with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 5 items on the Roper Report. A very solemn do-do-do-do-do from Kevin for the last one. I appreciate that, Kev. I like that. I like where your head's at.
He's dealing with something in there. I don't know what's going on. But
Oh man,
you figure it all out?
None of the inputs are coming through except for the main one. So it's okay. It just made it so when we switched the studio picture, there was no camera feed in there. But
Sure.
it's been fixed. I just need to adjust this a little bit more.
You're killing it,
Be
Kevin.
about
Good
your
job.
business.
You're the tinkerer.
it's true.
Lego Marvel Supervillains, Superheroes 2. Kevin the Tinkerer.
Mhm.
He hated it. Hated doing all of it. Regrets it to this day.
And for those of you that don't know what Greg's referencing, Kevin Coelho is literally the voice of the Tinkerer in that video game.
And he had to do it for so long, and he hated us for making us do it. I'm sorry, Kevin.
He's tinkering. He's too busy tinkering.
Number 1 game of the year roundup. That's right. It's game of the year roundup. Kinda Funny is doing our game of the year when, Tim?
January
You can just say next year. You
13th.
can say next year if you want.
January 13th.
If you're, I don't know if you knew the date. I wasn't quizzing you.
No,
I was
got
just
the date.
saying.
January
Like,
13th. That's when we do it. That's all we're saying about it, though.
see you on Kinda Funny Day to talk about that and figure out what that's all about. But other outlets, of course, have been posting it, so let's run through it. IGN's game of the year is Metaphor Refantazio. For years, Atlas's cult RPG Persona went from being a cool underground RPG series from Japan to one of the biggest franchises in modern gaming. But with Metaphor Refantazio, it's clear the developers behind Persona were seeking to push themselves to new heights. Trading in the modern-day Japanese high school setting for a pure fantasy world full of long-eared knights and bat-like ninjas, Atlas's Studio Zero has created an incredible and timely meditation on political strife and demagoguery.
Yep.
GameSpot's game of the year is Metaphor Refantazio. Regardless of when Metaphor Refantazio was released, it would remain an exceptional title. But in the year 2024, a year marred by political unrest, growing inequality, fear, distrust, misinformation, and division, no game feels quite as apt and essential. While not every work of fiction can change the world or instill within it a goodness that has seemingly been stripped away, Metaphor Refantazio is a reminder that art can change us. Damn, nailed it.
They nailed
Now,
it,
it should
man.
be one quick thing to point out about the GameSpot's Game of the Year right now. There should be an asterisk next to it. They have not reviewed Marvel Rivals yet.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you're reviewing Marvel Rivals, stay in line. All right, we need those fantasy critic points, everybody. All right,
No, we
it's
don't.
never too late if you are a top critic on Open Critic to file a Marvel Rivals review. I'm just saying, as an unbiased journalist. VGC's Game of the Year is Astrobot. Even without its many excellent video game cameos and PlayStation's references, Astrobot would still be our favorite game of the year. The quality of Team Asobi's endless charming platformer means that even were it not for the decades of love for Sony's console poured into every crack, the game would still be an endlessly creative marvel. Platforming is so enjoyable and so well executed that it can hold its own against some of the most unimpeachable plumber-led games in gaming's canon. And then, the Indie Gaming Awards Game of the Year is Balatro.
Hell yeah, man.
This was a video. They don't have a description.
Yeah.
You know, I think they had a video.
We get it, though. It's
Yeah,
Balatro.
Balatro. Yeah,
Great
of course,
stuff.
Of course.
Very cool. Love the spread I'm seeing this year. Love the spread. Seeing what was it? Games Beat also gave it to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Look at you, just out there trying to find something to agree with.
No,
you.
I specifically
just trying to find something.
No,
to agree
but
with
what
him.
I'm saying, Greg, is that I like seeing a lot of different games getting Game of the Year. But I specifically like Metaphor getting, I would say, two of the bigger ones.
Yeah, for sure.
GameSpot and IGN. That is such a win for that team. I feel like it is such a great story that reminds me a lot of the Souls games from Software, and then eventually getting up to, I mean, Sekiro winning, but then from Software, Elden Ring,
being
kind of being like, this is the big one. Yeah. And I feel like Metaphor Refantazio, after so many personas, kind of being like, all right, hey, we've learned so much. We've put out some amazing video games that people absolutely love and go feral over. And here we go. Let's up the ante a little bit and put out something that I think is a bit more accessible to a broader group of gamers out there. I feel like most people here at Kind of Funny have at least tried it, and I think like every single one has been like, shit, there's something here.
Haven't heard anybody try it here at Kind of Funny be like, not for me. I don't like this.
It's like, it's a freaking, like, the story alone, I'm like, man, this shit's incredible. Like, the presentation of it all, I think, is so special, and obviously, like, the people that have fully played through it all attest that it's even better than I think it is currently. As I'm like 25 hours in or so at this point. But yeah, man, congrats to Metaphor. That's a big deal for my GameSpot.
Will Metaphor Refantazio be Kind of Funny's Game of the Year, Tim?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I think that this year is the most up in the air because there's not the one obvious answer. Because of the way we do our Game of the Year, it is very much about what is the game that the most people here like the most. Right?
What defined your personal top 10?
Exactly. Yeah. And then you combine those things together, and it creates a list that I don't think any single person here is going to agree with, but it's going to represent the company, right?
Democracy.
So because of that, and that's the whole point of the Metaphor, right? But because of that, I don't know. I honestly, I don't think that there's even a front runner in my mind for what might win. I think Metaphor is probably in the running of that, simply because of how high it's going to be. I mean, any game that's number one on any one of our lists, I feel like is in the conversation. Then you take the next question of, will anyone else have it? And I think that at number one, or even high, or even on the list, right? Because like I'm Prince of Persia is my number one. I'd be shocked if it's even on more than two other people's lists.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, cool, it's not going to be that. Whereas Metaphor, it's going to be on at least a couple of ours, and I know it's going to be number one on Barrett's.
Yeah, it'll be high on Blesses, I would assume.
High on Blesses. Right? So I think that gives it kind of a bump. But then there is the Astrobot of it all, which is the one I'm rooting for.
I think Astrobot's going to be our winner. Yeah. And that's based on it. Currently my number one. And I think it's going to be a similar situation to when Final Fantasy VII Remake won for us, where I think it's going to be enough people's number one, number two, number three, that the shakeups of 1 and 2, you having Prince number one, right? Even though it won't be on anybody's list, is taking the 10 points that could have gone to a Metaphor away, right? And so then it's death by 1,000 cuts or whatever, where I think Astrobot's going to be...
that's the best year to use that example. I think the Ratchet and Clank one is.
Oh, that is good.
Because that's when that actually happened. Imran came in. Imran's the reason Final Fantasy won. Because he straight up fucked Last of Us 2 on purpose.
Why?
So that Final Fantasy would win.
Does he hate woke games?
I mean...
Let's not start that rumor.
No.
Let's start that. We love you.
What I'm saying is like he played the game there in a way that like the rest of us don't play the game.
Sure,
you know
that's fun though. I like that.
Yeah, so whatever. We have rules and play by the rules however you want to.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Ratchet and Clank year, that's when I think that it was like, oh yeah, everything got.
I think Astrobot's going to be in enough in most people's. I would say top 3, but maybe top 5, and I think Metaphor will be in a lot of people's 1s and 2s. Or no, I'm sorry. A few people's 1s and 2s, and then either way down people's lists or not on the list at all. And I think that's what'll do it in, and I think that's why Astrobot will run away. But then Final Fantasy has a lot of people who love it here too.
Yeah, but not enough.
But again, I think enough people that'll have it up in those the higher sections.
I don't think there's any chance Final Fantasy's number 1.
Okay, fair.
But I do think it will be high.
What are the odds for Starfield Shattered Space?
0. Like actually 0. I mean, even being in the top 10, I think it's actually 0. Like if you put it as your number 1, I wonder if that would get it on the list.
It's not even my top 5, or maybe probably.
It might, top 5. Because I think the games. There's so many games that we're all into different stuff this year that like 10 points might be enough.
Well, I'm saying it's not in my top 5.
No, I know. I'm saying if it was.
Okay.
But hell yeah, man. Metaphor.
Yeah, these are all great picks. What a great year for gaming. I think that's one of those things. Again, where this is always so hard to do, but whenever people are like, oh man, it wasn't a great year for PlayStation. Not a great year for own a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox or whatever. It's always when people are talking about exclusives and what it was, and which, isn't necessarily true depending on how you want to look at it with Helldivers or Indiana Jones and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, there wasn't a Naughty Dog. There wasn't a Sony Santa Monica. There, you know what I mean? Astrobot, again, we love, and we want people to love it, but it's a kid game. There's a bunch of assholes out there, I'm saying. But you look at this list of games, like, holy fuck, and let alone what, was at the Indie Game Awards, what, is winning at Game Awards, what is on the other lists here. Like, what a great time out there.
Amazing time, man. And like so many great indies this year too. And I feel like at every level there was like really, really special games. And it's funny because the Nintendo side, I think, is the one that was incredibly consistent, just not spectacular. Like a lot of 8s this year from them, I would say. And like a couple misses with things like Mario and Luigi Brothership and not Super Princess Peach, Peach Showtime. But 1,000 Year Door remake is an incredible video game, and like it's like that's the type of remake I want to see more of from Nintendo. And then Zelda Echoes of Wisdom was like very solid, like a fun little romp back in Hyrule.
Super Chat, I want to know what your game of the year was and why. Of course, if you're watching live, you should be part of the show over on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. You can super chat on this to be part of the show, like so many other people have. And we'll just start with the people who are saying, keep the long names going. Mellow Fellow says, from the rich folk, keep at it, Greg. John Van Pelt says, don't drop the long names. And then Joker Man comes in here and says, game of the year this year is the 4 out of 10 IGN gave Ghostbusters. Now, Joker Man, you're just here to make me upset, but it is a good point. Bringing that up means we can't trust IGN's game of the year. So we really shouldn't have even read this metaphor thing because they don't know what they're talking about anymore. And really, it's their entertainment division, right? What they give Penguin, Tim?
5, I think.
Can we really trust them? Can we really trust the entertainer?
That is wild. Opinions are one thing.
Exactly.
Assholes. Sorry.
Armando says, early birthday tax, turning 30 next Saturday. Got any tips for this new era? I have 2 weeks off. The goal is to beat one game. Happy holidays, everybody. Well, first off, happy birthday. Second off, be careful when you're parallel parking. You can throw out your neck or doing something else, curb your enthusiasm. And then beat one game over 2 weeks. What would you say? Hard to say because, of course, we don't know what Armando
have you played Astrobot? Because if you haven't, Platinum Astrobot.
Yeah.
67% of people platinumed Astrobot. I learned that
from
an amazing presentation.
I want to thank Alana Pierce for letting me come in and, not single-handedly because Janet had it as well, but we made Astrobot win.
If y'all don't know or haven't seen, last weekend, Alana Pierce did a very long stream hosted by her and Andy Cortez, hosting a debate for Game of the Year where a bunch of people came in and made a presentation for why they think X game should be Game of the Year. And Greg was the first to start it off. And you should go check out on her stream YouTube channel.
I'll tell you things about Lucy James you won't believe.
He goes so hard, you guys. I've known this man for, it feels like 2 decades at this point.
Yeah.
But I've seen him lose his shit and go after people many, many hundreds of times. I don't know if I've ever seen it quite like this, distilled like this, and targeted towards this many people in rapid succession.
They all had to get it.
They all had to get it.
I'm
one of them.
They wanted to stand up and fight me. They had to get it.
Yeah.
Y'all could have laid it down. You could have just said, no, you know what? Greg wins.
Yeah.
But you wanted to fight. And that's
classic Greg scenario. Anyway, go check it out. It's good.
Arsonist216 says, my game of the year is Helldivers 2. Gonna have to pick up the new special edition controller they just announced. You might be out of luck. I think it's already sold out. Gary Widow was texting me saying he couldn't get it just a few minutes ago. But yes, Helldivers 2, of course, very high. I'm not gonna give away my whole top 10.
Yeah, of course.
Very high on my list. And a possible, I don't think it'll shift its spot, but it's all I want to play right now. You know what I mean? I'm back in with the new stuff, and then, there's all these war bonds I missed while I've been off reviewing other stuff. I really want that to be my break game, which gets in the way of any other Game of the Year things, which means my list is pretty much locked, which means I could send it to Barrett, but I'll still wait the last second.
I'll be shocked if Helldivers 2 is not your number 2.
Fair enough. You have to wait.
I'm actually also shocked that Astrobot's your number 1, but it really warms my heart. So I'm not going to.
Why is it shocked? Because I don't talk about it enough? Because I'm not that kind of gamer.
All of it, right? Okay. I feel like you platformers, you and fun games.
You mean like a crying game or like something emotional? Yeah.
But like a gameplay focused thing, like all of it. Like I get that there's the PlayStation love and all that, but I don't know. There's something about that I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, Greg's gonna like like Astrobot, even beat Astrobot.
See, for me, it's one of those rare ones of I feel like, well, objectively, which I know doesn't exist, but it's just that thing of like I can't make an argument against the game Like, the game is just so good. Start to finish, pacing-wise, what's in it. Even the PlayStation love isn't the reason I love it, right? Yeah. It is that it's so tight, it's so challenging. It can be that fun lark, I'm just going to do stuff. It can be the grueling, I'm doing this over and over and over and over again until I fucking get it. Like, the game's just perfect, I think.
I love it, man.
Alex agrees with me with a super chat on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames says, for me, it's Astro by a mile. The game is everything I think a video game should be. Graphically impressive, technologically interesting, and so inventive. Just pure good fun. Agreed.
It's very true.
And then for right now, our final one, Spubby Jubby says, my game of the year is Tekken 8. While Persona 3 Reload was my favorite game, it's a remake, and for me doesn't count. Tekken 8 made me love fighting games once again.
Hell yeah, dude. Tekken 8.
Wes can't stop playing. We have a few more that have come in here, but we'll get to the end of the show if time allows. For now, we'll move on to number 2 on the Roper Report. Sonic 4 is speeding into theaters in 2027.
Not that speedy, is it?
Well, yeah, this is Ash Parrish over at The Verge. And Super Chat, I want to know if you're excited and if you think Sonic 4 or Bluey will come out first in movie theaters. Variety is reporting that Paramount Pictures is planning to extend the Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy by yet another movie. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 has been greenlit with a target release window of spring 2027. The news comes mere hours before Sonic the Hedgehog 3 releases in theaters on Friday, December 19th. The movie once again stars Ben Schwartz as Sonic, Colleen O'Shaughnessy, and Idris Elba as his friends Tails and Knuckles, with Jim Carrey returning as their nemesis, Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Sonic 3 will also feature the arrival of Keanu Reeves, playing Sonic's on-again, off-again, enemy-turned-friend Shadow the Hedgehog. With Sonic 3 anticipating tidy profits as North America prepares for the Christmas/New Year's movie-going season, developing a fourth movie makes sense. There are several rogue characters from the Sonic universe aiming for their silver screen debut. Parentheses, see what I did there?
Yeah.
I didn't. Who's the rogue?
Rogue. Rouge the Bat. Kevin, can you bring up Rouge the Bat? Rouge is spelled like rogue, kind of. I fuck this up every time.
How sexy of a photo?
Just I want.
Oh my god, OnlyFans sexy.
No. I just want the. What's the way?
I just went with the.
Has Negri ever cosplayed? Give me that photo.
This is it. This is just how she looks. This isn't a sexy photo. This is just how she looks.
You fucking freaks. You're all fucking freaks.
A sexy photo. A little bit.
This is just her character art.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Swear to God, dude.
Sega was like, man, this bat needs tits.
Swear to God.
Give this thing bazonka zonks. You know what I mean? Fucking hell.
That was a risk.
Oh God, our video games 8 months ago. The design of can I see it again?
Oh well, I didn't mean to.
The design of Rogue the Bat from Sonic Adventure 2 was inspired by quote the sexiness of Latin American women such as Jennifer Lopez.
If there's one thing we know about Shadow, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
I really don't. I don't think you should say it.
He loves Latinas. He does.
Okay. Like Sonic's like, I love chili dogs, and Shadow's like, I love Latinas.
Specifically Jennifer Lopez.
In her prime. The green dress of the VMAs.
VMAs, baby. Never forget. Lisa Rinna.
Tim, let's get away from this, get it back on track. 100%. You just reviewed Sonic 3, correct?
We did, yeah. You can check out the review on this channel and on the In Review podcast feed. I'm going to see it again tonight. I'm very, very excited.
Did you like it that much?
Oh, absolutely.
I heard a Roger, I think. I didn't listen to the review.
Yeah.
Somebody asked Roger, he was like, that's the vibe I got.
You know, I'll never be able to crack Roger. I don't understand what makes him tick. I feel like he's a very particular young boy.
Yeah,
I respect it.
He was mad that there was going to be a baby Garfield in the Garfield movie.
Yeah, I do remember that. And he was wrong about it. It was great.
It was less than 7 minutes. Yeah. Greg timed it.
It's I think it's easily the best Sonic movie.
Oh wow, okay.
Like by a long shot. And again, I think I gave it a 7.5 out of 10 on the kind of funny scale, but like that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all.
Out of 10.
It's exactly. Yeah. You say out of 10?
You said 7.5 out of 5. I thought. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I fucked it up.
I don't know.
It's what I usually do. I'm still hung up on 5 sometimes. Great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I assume then you're excited for a Sonic 4.
Incredibly. And also like your question of like, will it come up before Bluey? I don't know when Bluey's coming out, but like these movies are a fucking machine.
Bluey,
this thing's coming out.
Earlier this week they put up just a image that was like Bluey coming to theaters 27.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, them saying spring, like I imagine it's gonna be early. Like because I feel like this is the longest gap we've even had from like announcement to the next one.
Okay.
I think. But anyway, very excited. I also think we're going to get another spin-off show at some point in between.
Okay.
Like the Knuckles one. I imagine it'll be Shadow. It's exciting times.
Who can relate? Jesus fucking Christ. I'm glad you're getting more Sonic.
Yeah, me too.
I'm happy there's
Very
more
fucking
Sonic.
happy.
There's more movies. Sonic is big. Did you hear my Sonic story yet about Ben?
No.
Where we went to Isotope Comic after the Nutcracker.
Okay.
And James was there, and of course, shout out to James over at Isotope Comic. Everybody go over there. And he was walking Ben around, being like, "Oh, not James Burke now."
Yeah, well, I'm watching it with tonight.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
this is James who owns Isotope Comics here in San Francisco. And was like, "Oh, hey Ben, what about this? What about that? What about that?" And he was like, "Oh, Ben, do you like Sonic the Hedgehog?" And showed him like the book, and Ben was just like, "No." Just like, I don't know who this hedgehog is.
I don't know this man.
I don't know this
Yes.
man.
He will.
He knows Mario.
He will.
He
Eric
knows
Hart's-
Astrobot. Loves Astrobot.
Eric Hart's children, 4 and 8, obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog from these movies.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Saw
yeah.
one of them, and it's just like, this is all my entire life. And then realized it was a video game, and Eric busted out the games, and now they're just like, what the
That's
fuck I can
awesome.
play? Is this?
That's huge.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
I did mess that up a little bit, though, Greg.
What'd you mess up?
I did a little cursey curse. It felt like you were going somewhere.
Oh, I am, but
Yeah.
don't worry. We can keep going. You know,
keep going.
and nobody cares.
I
These
know.
sponsors, they don't give a fudge.
But until they do. You know what I mean? In this economy, I ain't trying to risk
That's
it,
fair enough. I
everybody.
like that a lot. No, yeah, it's that, and then Ben's love for Astrobot is so awesome.
Oh, that's
Anytime he sees the portal, he wants to play Astrobot. He has an Astrobot stuffy in his bed,
Good.
and then I quietly put to see if he would notice. The boys brought back Astrobot keychains from Japan, and I put one on our Christmas tree. And literally, I put it on that morning when he wasn't paying attention. He came home from school. He's like, "Astrobot." I'm like, "Yes, Ben, Astrobot."
Wow.
He's in. He's dialed in. He's my son. He's the next generation of PlayStation. For now, though, let's talk about you and helping us make the next generation of Kinda Funny. Of course, this show doesn't exist without your support. That's why we always ask you to pick up a Kinda Funny membership, either on youtube.com/kindafunnygames or patreon.com/kindafunny. You can say, hey, I like what you're doing. Give us $10, support a small business, and of course, for an entire month, get all of our shows ad-free, get the ability to watch the afternoon podcast live as we record them, and get your daily dose of me in a series I call Gregway, which I need to upload right now for Cool Greg. However, I digress. Right now, you're not using any of your membership benefits, so here's a word from our sponsor.
This episode's brought to you by Heart Electric. Heart Electric is an upcoming 4-team arena shooter with a fresh twist. Outthink and outplay your opponents to ultimately come out on top in the battle for life-sustaining energy. Made by developers from the Battlefield series and Helldivers 2, Heart Electric is all about eliminating 3 other teams by dropping their energy to 0 while keeping your team's energy supply high. How you keep yourself in play is up to your own scheming. Take a direct approach and steal energy from other teams' bases, or complete assignments while staying out of the spotlight. When one team takes the lead, do you communicate with the other teams and form a temporary truce, or do you take advantage of the panic to launch a sneaky assault on the weakest link? Heart Electric's winter playtest is going down January 18th, starting at noon Eastern Time. Sign up through Steam to not miss the chance to try the next big FPS. Heart Electric. If you're ready to feel the pulse and beats the odds, jump into Heart Electric on January 18th. Visit bit.ly/heartelectrickKF to sign up and feel the pulse. Still Wakes the Deep is a first-person narrative horror game from the genre masters at the Chinese Room. Featuring an all-star cast of Scottish actors, it combines grounded storytelling with unknowable horror for a truly unique and terrifying adventure. Set at Christmas 1975, you play as Kaz McCleary, a family man running from the police by taking a job on the Baradi oil rig. But the holiday cheer turns to festive fear as something incomprehensible comes aboard and starts wiping out everything in its path. With your escape routes cut off and no way to contact the mainland, your only hope is to run and hide as you make your way across the collapsing rig. Navigate pitch-black corridors, crawl through tight underwater spaces, and try not to make a sound during tense stealth sections. Whatever you are afraid of, Still Wakes the Deep has something that will freak you out. To celebrate the festive season, Still Wakes the Deep is currently 35% off on Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. Buy today and add some horror to your holidays. This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames. Let's be honest, what most people really want for the holidays is to see their favorite people more often. That's why this year, the best gift that you can give, besides plane tickets, is an Aura digital picture frame. Aura Frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. Greg, Kevin, and a ton of people here at Kind of Funny are obsessed with their Aura frames. It takes about 2 minutes to set up a frame using the Aura app. That means you'll be able to easily add all of the photos of the new memories you make this holiday season. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code KINDOFFUNNY at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code KINDOFFUNNY. This deal is exclusive to listeners, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply. auraframes.com, promo code KINDOFFUNNY. This episode's brought to you by Marvel Snap. Y'all know Marvel Snap completely took over my life when it burst on the scene 2 years ago. I love it so much that I even mentioned Marvel Snap in my own wedding vows, because to this day, my wife Gia is so obsessed that she has not missed a single day of completing her challenges. Marvel Snap is an award-winning collectible card game that combines deep strategy, a unique snapping mechanic, and your favorite Marvel characters with thousands of unique card art variants created by renowned artists to collect and use. New cards are released every week, new seasons every month, and frequent events keep the game fresh and exciting. Each game only takes about 3 minutes, so you can get in and out wherever you are. And with more than 270 cards in Marvel Snap with over 2,000 unique art variants, you'll always find some new fun. Art is central to Marvel Snap. They have partnered with over 300 renowned artists to create all of the unique art in the game, and it's always cool to see the new designs. Download the Marvel Snap app now, available on the App Store, Google Play, and Steam, or visit marvelsnap.com to learn more.
I try not to think about what might have been, 'cause I was then, and we have taken different roads. You know this song?
No.
God, you gotta fucking educate your mind.
Yeah.
If it isn't tone deaf going, blah, 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 you know what I mean?
It's true. What is it?
No, we'll never know.
Aretha Franklin?
What might it? No.
It sounds like Aretha Franklin.
The same old look in your eyes.
I was looking for
It's
Melissa
a
Etheridge.
beautiful night. I'm so tempted. Number 3 on the Roper Report.
Oh, he's not going to tell us.
No. Nintendo Switch 2 will reportedly fix the original's biggest flaw. This is Jordan Middler at VGC.
Put Star Fox on it?
Nah, they're going to put PlayStation games on. A new report claims that Nintendo's next console, which will reportedly be called Nintendo Switch 2, will come with a more powerful dock and magnetic Joy-Cons that will eliminate stick drift. Recent weeks have seen several accessory manufacturers circulate what is seemingly mock-ups of the final hardware of Nintendo's next console. Nintendo has yet to officially reveal its Switch successor, but the company has confirmed plans to do so during its current fiscal year, which would end March 2025. Now, a Reddit user claiming to have seen a final retail unit of the machine has said that the next Nintendo Switch console will be named Nintendo Switch 2 and will feature a more powerful dock as well as magnetic Joy-Cons. Further, it's claimed that these Joy-Cons will eliminate stick drift. This is due to new Joy-Cons reportedly including magnetic Hall effect joysticks, which don't contain the same deteriorating sensor material that has caused millions of original Joy-Cons to malfunction. The Verge reports that it has spoken to Next Handheld and that they are quote-unquote largely convinced that the information provided by the user is legitimate. The Nintendo Switch 2 will reportedly include a dock featuring 2 USB-A and 1 HDMI, 1 Ethernet, and 1 USB-C. The USB-C port is almost certainly used for power like the original Nintendo Switch models. Next Handheld also claims that the dock is rated for 60 W, I believe that's watts. While the Switch 2 is rated for 45 watts, suggesting both elements of the machine are being designed to handle significantly more power than the original.
Not much, if any, new information here. We're still talking about leaks, and I feel like all of these things have been discussed as leaks before. But, like I always say, where there's smokes, Greg, there's fires. And the more we hear about this stuff being kind of backed up, all of these numbers, the fact that we're talking about the magnetic Joy-Cons, the Hall effect sticks, all good news. But the biggest news to me, this is the first time I've seen anybody be like, it's actually called the Switch 2. Which, again, I've been saying for a very long time. Not only do I want it, I think it is the right call. Is Super Switch cute? Absolutely. Super Nintendo, like, my favorite system of all time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I love that thing so much. I get it. But after the debacle of the Wii U titling, I lived through that. I don't know how many of y'all did. I know a bunch of you did.
I lived through it.
Why would you want to do that again? We have the biggest win Nintendo's ever had, bigger than the Wii. And we want to fuck this up? No. Let's keep this going all the way to the top, man. This is the chance. This is the first chance for Nintendo to be fighting on equal enough ground with PlayStation and Xbox in a generation since back in the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube days. Keep this shit clean, concise,
when you say
understandable.
Fighting a similar ground, what do you mean?
I mean, I think that this is going to be the first generation that can play multi-platform games since then. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I think like every sign that we have seen, I'm not going to say it's going to be the best place to play.
Yeah.
But I do think that we are building towards a place where with PC gaming, console gaming, handheld PC gaming, cloud gaming, AI, all of it is lowering and connecting the low and high end of things. Games just need to be able to play in a bunch of different places. And with so many PS5 games even also coming out on PS4, and we're hearing about the potential stats back in the Switch too. I think we're not going to get every single game. That would be wild. I'm not implying that. That's stupid. I do think that we're going to get way more, and it's not going to be like, Mortal Kombat's on Switch.
And it looks like shit. Yeah.
I think it's going to be like, oh, this is a viable option for people.
Okay.
Very excited for.
Okay. That could be interesting. That could be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you think then? My biggest thing, the biggest problem in quotes, right? Yeah, stick drift's a problem, obviously, but that, whatever. I'm more excited for this difference in the dock versus the Switch itself.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to mean that the Switch, if I'm docking, I'm running at 4K? Is there something like that? Should I not dream that much, obviously?
The reality is...
reality.
That's how this should work, right?
Yeah.
You put it, handheld, it works one way. You put it on the dock and it works significantly better.
Yeah.
For some reason, we just haven't seen that yet actually work, even on the PC side of things. Like,
Steam Deck?
I think it was Bob Wolf, who I watch a lot of his YouTube videos. Very, very in-depth, great stuff into the tech of a lot of more retro handhelds, but also just experimental things, a lot of the PC handheld stuff too. And they were breaking down like how wild it is that like the GPU docks you can get for these things. It's not as plug and play as it should be. It doesn't just work the way it needs to. And with the Switch, that's the entire premise, is that it actually works the way that the commercials said it did. And that's why the Switch is so successful. In 2017, none of us believed that. And then we saw it and we're like, oh my God, it actually works.
Yeah.
I don't know that we're going to be quite there. These watt numbers they're putting out here, like clearly the Switch 2 is going to be significantly more powerful than the Switch 1. So I'm not surprised it needs more power to be usable and run. Yeah. But I don't know that this necessarily means that like, oh man, when you put it on the dock, then it's going to be substantially better. There will be the things like it'll run, I mean, fingers freaking crossed, in 4K, whereas it clearly isn't going to do that on the handheld device that's not going to have a 4K screen.
Yeah.
But even the Switch currently does that. Well, 720 to 1080, it's the whole thing.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will wait with bated breath to see what happens in the new year from that Nintendo Switch. We have not confirmed or denied if they're revealing the Nintendo Switch 2 on Kind of Funny Day on our stream. So keep your eyes peeled.
Have you seen the rumors?
I did actually. It was like, I saw the Reddit thread. I was like, you know what? Actually, maybe it is going to happen the same day.
Some people are saying it's week 1 of 2025. Woof.
That's going to change our stream.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, that'd be great. More eyes, baby.
Number 4, Pokemon TCG Pocket kicks off Mythical Island PvP event today. This is Ryan Dinsdale at IGN.com. Pokemon trading card game Pocket has released its third player versus player event today, December 20th, which awards emblems based on the Mythical Island expansion. The Mythical Island emblem event follows the same format as the first PvP event featured for the digital trading card game, simply challenging players with racking up 45 total wins over 3 weeks to obtain the best rewards. The event ends on January 10th. Mythical Island arrived as the first major expansion for Pokemon TCG Pocket, and with it came a meta shakeup. Pikachu X, that's right, or EX, do you want to say?
EX.
Pikachu EX appears to have fallen off a little thanks to a number of cards being added with which appear designed specifically to take it down.
Which I gotta let you know, Greg, not good for your boy.
Isn't that going to be everybody? If that's the meta, everybody's using that.
There's multiple metas at this point. And admittedly, I'm using a fairly outdated meta. At this point, even more outdated.
Yeah.
Still racking up them dubs, though.
While Mewtwo EX received a subtle boost.
Beat that.
Celebi X also emerged. Huh? What'd you say?
Celebi.
Celebi?
Yeah.
Like celibate.
Kind of.
Kevin's trying to shut down the computer. EX has also emerged as a new threat to the meta, but now the initially overlooked Mew EX is also entering the spotlight.
I love this game. I hate that they require 45 wins for the events. It's simply too much.
Yeah?
You do not get enough rewards game to game to go all the way up to 45, and the games just take way too long for that to happen. Maybe I'm Marvel snapped out. Maybe Marvel Snap just taught me another way and how quick these things should go. But yeah, I think that I'm deciding that I'm never going to get one of those 45 wins. It's not going to happen. I'll do a couple.
Just do what Mike does, though, and just watch a video incredibly small on your phone while you just auto battle.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't think you can auto battle.
Whatever Mike's fucking doing.
In the PvP thing here. Maybe I'm wrong. Doesn't matter. I don't want to do that. Like that's not fun.
Sure.
There's so much I love about this game. Every morning I wake up, I open up a couple packs. It just fills me with glee. So I wanted to continue going. This new expansion been awesome. I feel like it's the right size of a new cards to be coming out. It was getting a little bit stale. I was getting a little over not getting any new cards because I'm so close to having them all in the first set.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thrill of the new popping up and like seeing the new art and stuff, it's back, baby.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you're having fun with it. I'm glad it's managed to stick it out. I'll be interested to see where it ends up in a lot of your all's top 10 lists.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right?
I've been thinking about that a lot, and I don't know.
Well, when you figure it out, that's going to be big news here at Kinda Funny. But frankly, I'm sick of all this big news. Tim, if I wanted smaller news, say the tiniest news I needed to know about in the final Kinda Funny Games Daily of 2024, where would I go?
You go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items that you need to know about.
Number 5, the Wii News. Stalker Legends of the Zone trilogy will get next-gen patches, or a next-gen patch for consoles next year. They also plan to update the PC version.
Cool.
Hothead Games has shut down after almost 20 years.
Not cool.
Who's Hothead? Give me a Hothead Google.
Hothead Games. Yeah, I don't know.
Hunter Cross Hunter Hunter Cross Hunter Nen Cross Impact launches in summer 2025 on PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And then Genshin Impact version 5.3 update Incandescent Ode of Resurrection launches January 1, 2025. We're looking over here at what Hothead has worked on.
Looks like they got embraced in 2021.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
They did all the Penny Arcade license games back in the day.
Okay. They
starting in 2008.
Okay.
They did Death Spank.
No way. They published Death Spank?
Death Spank Thongs of Virtue.
Yeah, I remember Death Spank.
With the Electronic Arts. And then just as Hothead Games, it seems like they went big with a series called Big Win. Big Win Soccer, Big Win Hockey, Big Win Baseball, etc., etc.
Interesting. All right. Well, rest in peace to Hothead Games. And that's it for Wii News. We have one you're wrong I want to get through before we get to all the super chats. Nimble Trent wrote into kindafunny.com/you're wrong to tell us what we screwed up as we screwed it up and said, Helldiver controllers are still available on PS Direct as of this entry. I impulse bought it while checking stock. You should then talk to Gary Whitta, who is, I mean, granted, as I pointed out in the Alana thing, he's old. We shouldn't listen to him. But he says, I'm having no luck buying one. PS Direct lets me get all the way to checkout, but it's failing.
Rough.
So if you want to be Gary Whitta's best friend, send him a Helldivers controller, I guess. Then we move over to the one, the only, the Super Chats. Remember, if you want to be part of the show and wind down our final Kinda Funny Games Daily of 2024, youtube.com/Kinda Funny Games with your Super Chats, questions, comments, and concerns. Patrick Jacobson says, life has fucking sucked for me and my family in 2024, but Kinda Funny has been a small joy each day. Thank you. Patrick, thank you for letting us be joyful while we get to do our jobs and hang out. We're sorry life is rough in 2024. I hope it's better in 2025. Memo, Super Chats, and says, love us. I just graduated SJSU yesterday.
Love you.
I'm still in shock. Lol. Shout outs to Cool Greg for coming to my recital. I'll definitely be posting videos when I can. Yes.
Congratulations on everything. Cool Greg was ranting and raving to me about how good it was. So congrats on all of that, Memo.
Wish we could have been there. CJ Splitson says, quick, game of the year 2025.
2025. That's a great question. I mean, GTA 6 if it happens.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to. I still think it might, though.
What?
I'm not as much of a doubter as others.
Did they didn't say a year for Intergalactic, right? Yeah.
No.
I was 90% sure on that one. Yeah. I don't think that's coming out that next year.
Dated or 2025 games that I actually believe are coming out next year.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I wish it was Metroid Prime 4. I just don't. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I mean, fuck, I'd love it, though. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
too early.
I'm foggy right now on like.
Well, it's because what's actually coming out.
I know there's a ton of games, though, that have 2025 dates on them, though. Metal Gear Solid Delta. I don't think that gets it, though. I'm very excited for it.
Ghost of Yotai.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yotai.
I think that
Ghost.
there's a chance.
Whatever Mario launches on Switch.
That's the thing. I think the Switch 2 lineup is going to be very telling.
Street Shadow gave a very healthy super chat. Thank you so much. It says, my game of the year started as Rebirth or Persona 3 Reload. But when Astrobot came, it passed all of them. It brought joy, and that is rare in the world. The joy of on my son's face reminded me of childhood. Also, did you all see the Cerny interview with DF? Digital Foundry. I saw headlines out of it, and I'm like, this is too techy for anything for me to care about.
I read through it. Very interesting. I'm excited that there is this much investment and interest in pushing all this stuff forward. The race between AMD and NVIDIA and all this, and where Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox are all going to end up, and you add Steam to it all.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff. I think CES this year is going to be one to watch for sure. Like, I think that there's going to be some pretty major shakeups that are going to affect gaming maybe more than we've ever seen from CES.
All the machine learning and AI.
All of that, yeah.
Kebabs super chats for the final time of the year and says, for me, my game of the year would be Astrobot. But if I were on the Kind of Funny panel, I'd put the Lost Crown at number 1 just to play the numbers game a bit so it gets its flowers like Astro.
Yeah, I try.
Kebabs, that's why you're not on the panel.
I try not to play the numbers game and think about that stuff.
Yeah.
Although I think at the end of the day, I'm almost accidentally doing what Kebabs is, because I said this on the Alana stream. And I'm sure I'll say it many more times in our Game of the Year conversations. But to me, Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth, Astrobot, and Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, like, your boy Tim's just living a great life.
Yeah.
Like, these are some of my favorite games ever. But when I really think about it, I do think Astrobot is the best game of the year. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the most ambitious and unbelievable game of the year. And I think that, like, its highs are so incredibly high. It just also has a lot of extra stuff. It has a lot of stuff that people can point to and be like, well, this wasn't that good and this wasn't that good. I'm like, well, I don't care, because the rest of it's so good.
So good, yeah.
But when we're talking about, like, if I had to choose the one, but then you get to Prince of Persia, and, like, Prince of Persia: Lost Crown will forever be in my top 10 favorite games of all time. And Astrobot might. I need to think about that a bit more, but I know that Prince of Persia is.
Okay.
So that's why it's my number 1.
Daniel May says, my game of the year is a toss-up between Metaphor, Balatro, and Astrobot. I bet this year you repeat 2021, where Ratchet & Clank won due to many different number 1s. We shall see. Tim was saying the same. Cosper says, didn't Greg have Mario Odyssey as his game of the year in 2017? I did.
Oh, that's true.
But Tim likes to imagine that I hate all platformers and only like it when somebody's crying.
Name one other one.
Another platformer I enjoy?
Another 3D platformer.
Little Big Planet. Fuck you.
For
Fuck you. Melodic
I'm a
Quest.
Big Planet hater.
I know you are.
No surprise.
Yeah, you killed it. You killed Sackboy.
Good. Shit.
Melodic Quest says, going to see Sonic 3 tomorrow, then Sonic Symphony next week.
Oh.
I'm living my best life right now. Happy holidays.
Enjoy. You're going to... I don't want to spoil anything.
Street Shadow says, my only concern about Switch 2 is the rumor that it doesn't have OLED. That sucks. Will I still buy it? Yes, I am part of the problem.
Dude.
You aren't.
Yeah, no, it's just, it fucking sucks. It should launch with OLED.
It should. I agree
really
with that.
Freaking should. It's
but
such
I don't think,
bullshit
like,
that it's not going
not
to.
buying it would punish them to the degree that they're like, oh man, we
Yeah.
fucked up. Yeah,
It's just so unfortunate, man.
Okay.
I'm really holding out hope. And I know I feel kind of stupid for that, but I just hope that they just launch with two versions of it, if that's what they need to do.
Adem 2 times says, when is Kind of Funny's Game of the Year show again? It is Monday, January 13th.
Yes.
Remember, we are back on the 3rd, then a week of shenanigans, including Fantasy Critic, then Monday the 13th.
No.
Mike Towndrow super chats and says, happy holidays, gang. Congrats on another killer year. Congrats to you, Mike, and all the showcases, the indie awards, and everything else you're doing.
Congrats. Y'all
Great
are killing
work
it out there.
Mara writes in and says, Greg, it's pronounced Hunter by Hunter. Happy holidays. See y'all on KF Day. Mara, this is another classic one where you can't just make up pronunciations and definitions. Like, I've learned, of course, that it's not Hunter X Hunter, it's Hunter Cross Hunter. That's what they wanted it to be called. Now they want to change the X to by as well. If they wanted that, then what they should have said, right, is Hunter BY Hunter. That would make sense. Hunter by Hunter.
I thought it was just Hunter Hunter.
Listen,
so many
they're putting an X in there. They're doing this thing.
I've never heard the by until today.
I'm just letting everybody know. All right. Charlie Nugget says, my game of the year is Dragon Age the Veilguard. My reasoning is Tasha's biceps. Charlie Nuggets is a great point there. Veilguard, one of my favorite games of the year. You'll see where it
really solid animations too.
Really solid animations. Paul did it all. Gene Freak says, super chats and says, show us a nippy, Greg. I usually would, but the problem is when you give money, that's a violation of Twitch or somebody.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Like if you just said in the chat, hey, we want to see some nips, but now the money's been on the put, I can't do it.
I mean, if you just, if you feel like showing nips because.
But that's too much. The money's been given. There's a thing going on here. You can't. I can't.
You used to show your nips willy nilly. You'd cut holes in your shirt to show. Your nips.
Still love showing my nips, and I will show my nips. I'm sure you'll see my nips on the stream. I'm just saying, now that there's been a monetary transaction and you've requested, I can't do it today.
How much money would it take for you to pierce your nipples? Because I was thinking about this last night, and I think that's one of the things that like I really don't want to do.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. Is my thing.
I don't know that I would, Kev. Like
we're kind of funny. We're not jackass. I don't know. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, like we'll numb it up first.
I'm not even just. I'm not so much worried about the piercing of it, which sounds horrible. It's the living with it and getting caught on things like that.
Well, you take it out.
So scared of that.
You don't have to keep it forever.
Yeah, you just take it out. It'll heal up.
No. I'm saying like for you to have nipple piercing.
Oh, never. No.
Tim, I bet you don't know this, but my brother-in-law has nipple piercings.
Call him up.
I just thought that'd be a fun thing to tell you.
And on that note, Tim's got to go to a call. I'll finish off this super chat.
I did not know that, Kevin.
I know.
This changes everything.
Yep.
Good for you.
That's a wrap on Tim's Kind of Funny Games Daily career for 2024. Thank you for another amazing year, Tim. Let's finish these off, get you out of here, because we had a GAMESCAST where we're doing the GTA clone draft. Nick Wendling says, my game of the year is Metaphor. That game was fantastic. Astrobot is also fantastic. Again, it's one of those years where you can't go wrong. There's too many great games out there. You're having a great time. Zach Johnson says, super chatting just for fun. 2024 game of the year, Rebirth. 2025 game of the year, Split Fiction maybe, Lost Records, Avowed, Unannounced. Of the games you've just listed, I would say it's going to be Unannounced or one of the other ones we mentioned. I think Split Fiction is going to be great, but will it be game of the year again? Can lightning strike twice? There's a lot of competition next year. Lost Records, I'm super excited about, but we only have that one chapter to go off of, right? So I want to know more about it there. Avowed, I can't wait for. Probably my most hyped game right now, heading into the new year. Right behind it would be Monster Hunter. But I don't think it'll be game of the year overall, but I hope I'm wrong because I can't wait to play that fucking game. Kaiser and Sky super chats and says the percent chance that Sparking Zero makes Blessings top 10. 100%. 1000% Blessings top 10 will include. And there'd actually be a discussion here if you're thinking like top 5, right? Then I'm like, ooh, I don't know. What about X, Y, and Z? But even then I'd say top 5 probably. Top 3 is where it gets, you have a fall off, but even then maybe, but probably not, right? No. And then Gene Freak super chats and just says for Kevin. For Kevin, everybody. Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, that is your final Kind of Funny Games Daily for 2024. Like we said, we're off next week, obviously, for Christmas, and then we are back Friday, January 3rd, 2 weeks from right now for a 12-hour stream that officially begins at 10 a.m., but like Tim told you exclusively, 7:30 a.m., 2.5 hours before live time, we will be running a pre-show countdown of Kind of Funny's greatest moments, things we love the most, all of that, to get you hyped to celebrate 10 years of Kind of Funny. It will be our biggest stream of all time. time. It will be our biggest day of all time, and I hope you can make the time to enjoy it with us. Come join us. Come watch the basketball game. Maybe win a meta quest. Maybe win one of the dozens of other hundreds of others things we have to give away. Not tipping my hand at anything. And of course, hang out to talk about where we've been and where we're going. If you aren't joining us for the Kind of Funny Gamescast that comes up next, if you aren't joining us for the stream, that's the holiday party, that's also the Kind of Funny podcast, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting us throughout 2024. A lot of crazy changes this year that went so much better than we could have possibly imagined, all because you are the best friends in the world. Thank you so much for supporting Kind of Funny. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being such a great community. Thank you for, believing in this stupid dream from 4 people who quit their stable jobs to go work out of a spare bedroom to then lead to all of this, to lead to all of them, to have what we have here. It is incredible, and I can't wait to celebrate 10 years of it 2 weeks from today on January 3rd. For now, though, like I said, we have other shows to do. Remember, we're all about live talk shows, Twitch, YouTube, you know the deal. Pick up the podcast wherever you want to pick up the podcast. Like, subscribe, share, pick up a Kind of Funny membership, although at this point, you might as well wait till January 3rd. And remember that until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.